and I'm here to talk a little bit about how to make a bad presentation. Okay? Later, we are going to see a lot of good presentations. Anybody can do a good presentation. So I'm going to show you how to make a bad, really bad presentation. All right, so I will start my show. My little presentation, and show you the best ways to make a bad presentation. All right, so what I really want you to do is listen carefully and don't enjoy my presentation. Okay? Good. All right, so step one on how to make a bad presentation. Use too much information. All right? Talk about lots of things and talk really slow. And also, don't use periods. Just keep talking and talking about anything. Talk about things that have nothing to do with the presentation, like Soo Young Choi and how beautiful she is from Girls' Generation. Okay? Also, make sure that you use lots of very difficult to read graphs and tables. That way, no one is going to understand your presentation. And that is very important. Okay? Right. Step two. This is what you want. This is what you want to see when you look into the audience. Okay? So, next up, step two. All right. Very important. How you speak is very important. So, did I miss a point? That's an also important thing. Always make mistakes. All right? And go back and make sure that you, yes. Just read your handout. Okay? Just read your handout. Just read your handout. Just read your handout. Just read the handout. Okay? Again, this is what you want. Very important. All right? Next up, step three. Use a flat voice. How you speak is very important. Okay? Try to speak English like you speak Japanese. No ups, no downs, just monotone. Mosquito reading. Like this. Hello everyone. Welcome to the 2016 World Youth Meeting pre-meeting. My name is Gary. I will be the main speaker today. Good, huh? All right, next up, step four, very important. When you stand up here in front of everyone, do not look happy. No smiling. Okay? Don't look interested. Don't look excited. Do your best to look bored. Use your body language. Stand like this. Show them that you don't care about this presentation. Also, use lots of gestures that nobody will understand. Also, very important point. Okay? Now, let's move on to the next page. Step 5. There we go, step 5. Talk about boring things, all right? So today I want to tell you about my hobby. I really like watching grass grow. It takes a long time. It's not very interesting, but I like it. All right, step 6. Have too many slides. All right, the more the better. Don't worry if the audience can't read them. Show them quickly too. All right, the more the better. Lots of variety. All right, step 7. Oh, no, I think we're almost there. Okay. So, that's how to make the perfect, boring presentation. Yay. Okay. Enough humor. Time to get serious. All right. So, now, let's change tactics. Now I'm going to tell you a little about how to make a good presentation, or to make a good presentation better. All right? So, I think that a good presentation is all about communication. It's about building a connection to your audience. All right? So I am going to introduce some key ideas to help you better plan, prepare, and give future presentations. So this model was developed by a number of professional presenters, one of whom, his name is Gar Reynolds, and his book, The Presentation of Zen, is a good guidebook for making presentations. I have it on my iPhone, and you can find it at Amazon.com if you wish to buy it. All right, so to start, everybody knows Aristotle, right? Hi, everybody. Aristotle, okay? One or two, a few people, okay. So let me tell you, he was a famous, really smart, dead Greek guy who loved to argue with people. And he was very good. And he has a list of 3 things that will help you to persuade the audience about your presentation, the contents of your presentation. So, he said, first, smack them. Second, punch them. Third, yell at them. Oh, oops, sorry. Those are what I use to get my students to do their homework. No, he said, you need to have logos, pathos, and ethos. All right? Got it? Good. All right. See you at the World Youth Meeting 2016. Bye.
Bye.
All right, well, let's look a little more closely, all right, at these 3 points. So, logos means to appeal to logic or reason. You can get people to agree with you and your point of view if you give them enough information, data, or reasons. But remember my boring presentation, step 1. For a good presentation, don't give too much information or use too many bullet points. So, that brings us to the modality principle. We learn more when we hear information in a story instead of looking at words on a slide. So, you need to tell a story with your data, like this. Once upon a time, not so long ago, Chae Soo-young was born on February 20th, 1990 in Gwangju, South Korea. She lives happily with her father, mother, older sister, and her dog. Soo-young is an amazing 172 centimeters tall and weighs only 46 kilos. Her blood type is type O, which means she's confident, determined, and optimistic, which is a perfect match for a B-type guy like me. Next, the redundancy principle. Too much text, bad. Story plus picture, good. All right, next up. So, if there's too much information, people will stop listening. Okay? So you want to have only a little information, some good pictures, so that people will pay attention to you and what you are saying. All right. So, when you tell your story, you need to use three things. First, a roadmap. When you're giving a presentation, you need to tell your listeners where you are going. So you need to know the goal before. What do you want the people to remember or learn from your presentation? What is your goal or destination? Next, you should also use road signs or words to show the way. Words like first, next, final. And they will tell your listeners how to follow your presentation. Number 2, visual data. A picture is worth 1,000 words. People will understand faster and better if you can show them what you mean with one picture instead of a lot of text. Number 3, a clear goal and route before you start your presentation is needed. Okay? What do you want to remember? Also, you need to make a clear plan of how you will get to your goal in your presentation. So before you begin, you should decide on your goal, then decide on what your key points are. Use your strongest points. Use the rule of 3. Find your best 3 points and use those in your presentation. For example, okay, got it? Good. Next, last, pathos. Aristotle's next point is pathos. Pathos comes from the Greek word for suffering or experience. It's about emotions. Emotions are very important. Emotions can influence our decisions. They also help us to connect with other people. How can you use emotions in your presentations? Let's quickly look at 4 ways. First, humor. Try to make people laugh. Okay? Do or say something funny in your presentation. Second, passion. If you are passionate about your presentation, then the audience will catch your passion. Also, use passionate language, gestures, eye contact. Show that you are passionate about your presentation. Next, surprise. Try to use something that will surprise your listeners. Something that will make them go, wow, or really. Right, see, some of you surprised. All right, last, moving. So if you do the 3 things I've mentioned, use humor, show your passion, surprise the audience, then the audience will be moved by your presentation. Now, let's move on to the last topic, ethos. This is maybe the most difficult. The audience has to trust you. So, people have to believe that they can trust you. Think about the people that you trust. Why do you trust them? Here are some people that I trust, both famous, family, and soon to be family. How about you? When you are a speaker giving a presentation, how can the audience trust you? Well, try to be a good person, of course, but how can the audience trust you in the presentation? Here are a few tips. First, think about the audience. The first thing you need to do is to ask yourself the question, who are the people in your audience? Are they business people, students, or are they a mix? What do they need to know or get from your presentation? Finally, what do they want to learn? Put yourself in their shoes. Look at your presentation through their eyes. Make the presentation for your audience, not for yourself. Next question. And this is the most difficult question. Sell yourself. Who are you? To answer this question is to come to the heart of ethos. How can people get to trust you? As I said before, this is very important. The best way to get people to trust you is to show them that you are like them. The key elements of ethos are: show your personal side. Don't be afraid to talk about yourself or use examples from your life. Show your credibility. How we do this? Use good eye contact, open body language, smile. And last, show your individuality. This is the most important thing. Be yourself. Relax and be friends with the audience. Last page. Conclusion. All right, finally, here are Mr. Roberts' 3 points about the Zen of presentation. 1, restraint. Don't put everything into your presentation. Use only the most important points. Simplicity. Use simple slides with lots of pictures. Less data, less text, more pictures. Naturalness. Be yourself. Be honest. Be warm. Be funny. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, like I did today. Mistakes are okay. They're part of the learning experience. Finally, a few people I would like to thank, and thank you all for your kind attention.